Hello, my name is Anthony Abeyta, and today I will be talking about the history of machines, in particular, the personal computer. An introduction to my material today would be the origination of the computer, companies that design and controlled computer innovation, the internet boom, and the breakthrough of the 21st century in computer technologies. I'm going to start with the origination of the computer. The definition of a computer was originally defined as a person who solves equations. We didn't start to associate the word with machinery until about the 1940s. Its purpose was originally, like I said, to solve complex mathematical equations. The first known computer is the Turing machine, developed in 1936 by Alan Turing. It is known as the fundamental design of computers. What it did is it printed symbols using logical steps programmed by the user. Other computers of note was the Colossus, developed in 1943. It was the first programmable computer. It had the ability to encrypt code. Next one we're going to talk about is the ABE170 A2 computer, developed in 1943. This was the first electrical computer. It used Boolean logic. It actually never became operational. It is of note because it sparked competition controversy between computer developers and companies. The ENIAC was developed by Honeywell, and the basic idea was thought to be stolen from the ABC computer. There's actually a court case between Honeywell and the Sperry Rand Corp, who represented the ABC computers, and Honeywell ended up losing that case because they, due to patent infringement, they actually stole some logic from the ABC computer. Next, we're going to be talking about computer company innovation, starting with IBM. IBM stands for the International Business Machines Corporation. It was founded in New York, here in the US. Its first success was the machine called the 701. Introduced in 1953, it was the first mass-produced computer. It sold 19,701 units. HP, which stands for Hewlett-Packard, its first success was the 9100A, introduced in 1968. Unique to it, it was the first desktop computer to be marketed as a personal computer. A cool story is they actually employed Steve Wozniak, and he was the designer of the Apple I, and eventually the co-founder of Apple. Smooth transition into Apple here. Apple Computers was co-founded, like I said, by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. The first success was the Apple II. It was introduced in 1977. It's the first mass-produced computer with color graphics. It caught the attention of a lot of computer companies because it was innovative. Color to graphics was not seen yet. Competition in computer markets. The IBM personal computer, developed in 1981, marketed for business and home use. It was actually the lowest price at that time, set at the lowest price. The IBM compatible computer, that concept was brought to the market. It was basically saying that you can use our product, but you'd have to use our software. It had to be IBM compatible. It was made to control global markets, and it actually had a lot of international success. IBM, because of their success, outsourced to a lot of businesses. One business in particular, controlled by a man everyone knows as Bill Gates. They outsourced it to Microsoft. Microsoft's first success was designing disk operating systems for IBM compatible computers. Their biggest one was obviously DOS. Their personal success came with Microsoft DOS. This was not IBM controlled, and it actually had a huge international success as well. Because of their success, they were able to develop as an independent company for IBM. And during that time, they developed Microsoft Word in 1983. It was the first word processing software that had huge success, along with Microsoft Windows, another operating system for IBM-compatible computers, in 1983 as well. A case in Apple versus Microsoft is where Apple sued Microsoft for copyright infringement. They accused Microsoft of stealing elements of Apple's graphical user interface, also known as a GUI, for Apple's OS, their operating system. Apple lost the lawsuit because Microsoft had patented most of their elements used for their GUI. They were able to get away with that. This again created competition in the industry of computer technologies. Next, I'm going to talk about the internet boom. This is seen as the personal computer's holy grail. Quick little history on the internet. It was created by Bernard Bush in the 1950s for U.S. military use. It was then called ARPANET. It's information database for the Department of Defense. And what it did is it had 10,000 computers in communication over a network, and those people would communicate within this network. It was developed in the 1960s is when it got popular. Public use led to the creation of languages for internet communication, thus the development of the World Wide Web, which was made by Tim Berners-Lee. He created internet languages, as we know, as HTML and URL. He created these languages for the World Wide Web. He also is the creator of the World Wide Web, created in 1990. He's credited with the first web browser program. A web browser is a software application that enables users to connect and access pages remotely on the internet. Microsoft actually perfected the web browser with Internet Explorer. They were the first popular web browser. It was a user-friendly web browser for internet surfing. Internet content is from the spectrum of anything from information databases, online shopping. In particular, a big one would be Amazon. Everyone knows who Amazon is. You had the accessibility of bill pay, news, blogs, advertisements, online businesses, and social networks, which is a big one, huge topic today. In particular, Facebook and Twitter, and the death of MySpace, which, I mean, no one really gets on anymore, but it was a big social network back in 2003, 2004. 21st century innovation came with laptops, which was the first portable personal computer. It had the full functionality of a computer, so it did all a computer could do. Next thing we want to talk about is the smartphone, which was considered a phone computer. It was available in your palm. Here's a little picture here of an iPhone 5, which is a smartphone. Smartphones don't actually have the complete computer functionality. They only have a subset of it, so it only has limited functionality within being a computer, so it doesn't do everything a computer does. A tablet is a touch computer. There are tablets that have full computer functionality and limited computer functionality. Most Windows tablets actually have the full operating system on there, so that in turn provides full computer functionality, but most tablets do not. Most of them do have limited functionality. In conclusion of the personal computer, I'd like to talk about the contributors again to the personal computer. Those would be the history of computers, flourishing computer businesses, the internet, the 21st century of computer development. In conclusion, I would like to say that this topic is very satisfying to study. The paper was easy to write out since I am so interested in this topic. I'm actually studying computer science, so this is something that I do enjoy reading about, something I've enjoyed thoroughly. The personal computer, your friend, 90 years in the making. Again, my name is Anthony Abeyta. Thank you so much.